F-22 Raptor can find an enemy aircraft from 250 miles out, long before that crew knows a Raptor is in the same sky, and turn it into a firing solution before one warning light blinks in the other cockpit. The most capable air superiority fighter ever built. And for nearly 3 decades, it has not been able to tell the fighter flying 30 miles behind it what it just saw. That is by design. The reason is a single sentence an engineer could not make true in 1997. An aircraft cannot be invisible and speak at the same time. Every signal it sends is a beacon to anyone listening, so to stay unseen, it stays silent, seeing the entire battle space and sharing almost none of it. Against a peer adversary, that silence is a liability the US can no longer afford. In 2026, the Air Force is finally building the only answer the physics will allow. The fix is not a new radio or a software patch. It is an aircraft with no pilot in it. The YFQ-44 Fury, which just rolled off a production line in Ohio. Subscribe to Classified Decoded. The best fighter ever built spends the whole fight saying nothing, and knowing why is the difference between watching a dogfight and reading one. June 22, 2025. Operation Midnight Hammer. Roughly 125 American aircraft pushed into Iranian airspace in timed waves. F-22's riding the front edge, scrubbing the ingress lanes clean, suppressing defenses, breaking radar chains. Nothing locked the strike package. Nothing fired at the bombers. A flawless night. Here is the part the after-action summary tends to skip. While those Raptors were clearing the corridor, the ANAPG-77 radar in each nose was assembling a map of that battle space that no other aircraft in the formation could see as it happened. Hundreds of miles of tracks. The full electronic order of battle. Threat positions refreshing many times a second. A God's eye view of the entire sky. And that view stayed locked inside the Raptors. The F-22's could pass it among themselves over their own internal link, Raptor to Raptor, in silence. But that was the edge of the conversation. To every other aircraft in the sky that night, the bombers, the F-35's, the tankers, the AWACS, those Raptors were mute. There was no clean way to push the picture onto the shared network the rest of the force was using, not without a workaround that added delay a peer fight cannot spare. That is the wall 2026 is taking down. The Air Force has begun bolting crude platform integration hardware into 142 Block 30 and 35 Raptors, the cockpit kit that lets a single pilot command collaborative combat aircraft directly, the Fury among them. This is not a slide in a briefing. This is metal going into combat-coded jets. That 1997 choice is not being undone. It is being routed around by handing the talking to a different kind of aircraft entirely. Why would a 5th-generation stealth fighter, a stealth bird of prey that can see an entire battle space before anyone sees it, go completely silent to the very fleet it flies for? Nothing is jamming it, nothing is broken. The silence is deliberate, engineered in from the first day. To understand why, you have to go back to the choice that built it. Picture the requirement sheet that engineer was handed. 2 lines. Line 1, the aircraft must never be detected. Line 2, it must share what it sees with friendly forces. Anyone who understands electromagnetic energy reads those 2 lines and feels the floor tilt. They fight each other. You cannot honor both, so you choose. To see why they fight, look at what stealth actually does. Radar throws energy at you and listens for the sliver that bounces back. Stealth makes sure almost nothing does. The airframe shaped to scatter the reflection off into empty sky. The skin coated to swallow the pulse rather than echo it. On a hostile scope, the jet shrinks to the size of a bird. But stealth only manages energy that bounced off you. It does nothing about energy the aircraft radiates itself, on purpose. The instant a radio transmits, it becomes the source, and no shaping or coding can hide that. And a radar pulse has to survive the round trip, out and back, bleeding away on both legs. while your transmission travels one way, straight to whoever is listening. So your own signal carries far past the range at which a radar echo could ever find you. A listener does not have to defeat your stealth. He just has to wait for you to talk. You hand him the signal for free. That is the trap on the requirement sheet. Be invisible or be heard. Physics will not let you be both. Consider Link 16, the data link the entire NATO alliance shares. Every fighter, every warship, every ground radar, every AWACS. The way it works is simple. It broadcasts, radiating in every direction, strong enough for a ship below the horizon to pull it in reliably. That reach is what makes it useful, and what makes it lethal to a stealth aircraft. The instant a Raptor keys Link 16, it hands its position to every hostile listening post for hundreds of miles around, the precise fate its stealth was built to prevent. In modern air combat, that is the difference between hunting and being hunted. A nuclear submarine is at its deadliest when it is silent. The moment it goes active, pinging sonar, transmitting up to the fleet, it trades its single greatest advantage for the convenience of being heard. So it stays quiet, and it coordinates on terms that protect that quiet. The F-22 lives under the same law, except its ocean is the electromagnetic spectrum. The Raptor's answer is the intra-flight data link. Instead of shouting in all directions, IFDL points a narrow beam straight at the intended receiver, hopping frequencies in patterns that read as background noise, and bursting so briefly that signal's intelligence can barely classify it before it is gone. The trade is total. IFDL keeps the Raptor dark, but it only speaks Raptor. Link 16 stays closed to it. The APG-77's picture has nowhere to go but the cockpit it was built in, and the F-35 cannot bridge the gap either. Its own stealth link, MADL, is a different dialect of the same silence. So the most capable air superiority fighter ever flown has spent its career as the quietest aircraft in the formation. The gap was never absolute. Gateway aircraft and pre-planned packages stitched the picture together. But stitched together is slower and more brittle than a force that simply shares, and in a fight measured in seconds, slower is its own kind of exposure. The Raptor sees everything. It tells almost no one. That was never a defect. It was the bill physics handed over, and the F-22 has been paying it in full. But staying silent is only half the trap. The other half is quieter and just as unbreakable. To fight in contested airspace without lighting up its own radar, the Raptor needs a way to find a stealth aircraft, a J-20 say, without emitting a single watt. The tool for that is an infrared search and track sensor. IRST reads the heat pouring off an aircraft's engines at long range purely by receiving. It transmits nothing. It adds nothing to the Raptor's signature. It hunts in complete silence. And it works on the one thing stealth cannot hide. An airframe can shrink its radar cross-section until it nearly vanishes, but it cannot make its exhaust cold. But IRST carries a limitation that no amount of engineering will lift. It cannot tell you how far away anything is. Here is why. A radar fires a pulse. It bounces off the target and comes home, and the system clocks the round trip. Knowing the speed of light, it turns that time into distance. That is the gift of active sensing. You paid for the pulse, so range comes back for free. IRST never fires a pulse. There is no echo, no round trip, no clock to read. It can report that a J-20 sits at bearing 347, 12 degrees up. What it cannot tell you is whether that J-20 is 20 miles out, or 80. Try it yourself. Cover one eye and reach for a cup on the table. Your hand knows the direction perfectly and fumbles the distance. Because depth lives in the gap between two eyes looking from two slightly different places. One eye gives you a bearing. Two eyes give you range. A single IRST is a one-eyed hunter. This matters because a missile has to know how far it must fly. A weapon like the AIM-260, the classified long-range missile now ramping into production to outreach the AMRAAM, needs real range data to build its flight path. No range, no firing solution. No firing solution, no shot. The fix is geometry. Put a second eye somewhere else in the sky. Two sensors at two positions, each measuring the bearing to the same target. Draw two lines, Where they cross is the target, and distance falls straight out of the triangle. This is where the collaborative combat aircraft become that second eye. Two Fury drones fan out from the Raptor, far enough apart to open a real baseline. Each one's IRST measures the bearing to the same J20. Both bearings travel back to the F-22 over IFDL. Narrow, brief, unheard. The Raptor's computers cross the lines, range appears, and a firing solution exists. The APG-77 was never switched on. The geometry has a temper though. Crowd the drones too close together, forced in by terrain, threats, or jamming, and the angle between their views collapses, the triangle goes flat, and the range estimate falls apart. Heavy cloud blunts an infrared sensor that radar would punch straight through. And the full Raptor and drone teaming picture has not yet been proven against a peer adversary's electronic warfare. That is the frontier, not the baseline. The hardware, at least, is real and moving. The Air Force has 30 IRST pods on order, with the first slated to reach the fleet around 2028. The silent eye is coming. It just needs a second eye to make sense of what it sees. Now set both problems side by side and watch the answer assemble itself. A Raptor lifts off for a long mission carrying low-drag tank and pylon sets, LDTP, adding roughly 850 nautical miles of reach. Unlike the bolt-on tanks of a conventional fighter, these are built to stay, faceted, radar-absorbent, supersonic rated, hardened to ride through hard maneuvering. The Raptor does not have to drop them to fight. That fuel lets it hold a perch 50 to 80 nautical miles behind the threat edge and supercruise. Cruise above the speed of sound on dry thrust, no afterburner. For the whole engagement, tanks still attached. Signature barely moved. Out front, 4 Fury drones spread into the threat. 2 open the IRST baseline for triangulation, far enough apart for the geometry to mean something. 1 carries an electronic warfare payload, jamming the radars hunting the formation. 1 plays decoy, pulling heat-seeking threats off the sensing drones. To the adversary's electronic picture, the package is 4 small, fast aircraft with no visible commander. Look at where all 4 of them have to be, and the reason the Raptor needs them at all comes into focus. Every one of those jobs lives forward, inside the threat ring, doing the work that gets an aircraft noticed and killed. A second eye wide enough to triangulate has to fly deep and far out to the flank. Jamming means emitting, lighting yourself up on purpose. Playing decoy means deliberately inviting the shot. Hand any of those tasks to the F-22 itself and you have just thrown away the silence the first half of this story was built on, and risked a $350 million jet and the pilot inside it on the most exposed errand of the mission. The Fury exists to take that errand instead. It is cheap enough to risk and quiet enough to send, so the one irreplaceable thing in the formation, the crewed jet, the pilot, the mind making the call, can stay back at standoff, dark and alive, while something expendable goes forward and does the loud, dangerous work in its place. The thread is IFDL, and none of it reaches hostile ears. The Raptor sits silent at 50,000 feet and takes in the composite picture. Bearing from Drone 1, bearing from Drone 2, lines crossed, range confirmed. The APG-77 has not radiated. No one has keyed Link 16. The bay doors open for less than a second. The missile drops from a platform already supercruising at Mach 1.8 and leaves into air barely a sixth as dense as at sea level, so it carries its energy farther than the same weapon shoved off a low subsonic jet. The doors close. The Raptor slides back into silence. On the far side, the radar warning receiver recorded nothing at all. Now run the budget, the part nobody likes to say out loud. One F-22 sits around $350 million. Industry estimates put each Fury at roughly $25 to $30 million. 4 drones plus the Raptor lands near the price of 1 1/3 Raptors. And for that, the Air Force fields 5 combat platforms instead of 1, with the only irreplaceable one hidden and silent. This does not rebuild the fleet. The production line shut in 2011, and no money reopens it. What it does is multiply what a single Raptor can see, reach, and finish, with aircraft now actually coming off a line, not sketches in a study. The Air Force is even weighing whether to drag its oldest training-only Raptors up to combat standard. That is how badly every airframe is wanted. Here's the thing about IFDL that the first half of this story had backwards. We called it a cage. For nearly 3 decades, IFDL let a Raptor talk to other Raptors and almost no one else. Not the F-35, not the strike package, not the fleet. The price of stealth, the cost of a choice made in 1997. All true. But widen the circle to take in the drones, and that same closed channel stops looking like a cage. The Raptor commands its drones over IFDL. The entire forward package, 4 autonomous aircraft running triangulation, jamming, and deception, is steered by a link that hostile signals intelligence cannot read. The reason is not unbreakable encryption. IFDL is simply not a standard waveform. It does not appear in the reference libraries a peer adversary's intercept operators use to recognize and characterize an emission. To them, it does not register as a message they cannot decode. It barely registers as a message at all. And here is the symmetry underneath it all. The choice that built that link, a closed private channel instead of a seat on the open network everyone else shared, has 2 faces. One face cut the F-22 off from its own side for 28 years. The other is only now turning toward the enemy. A channel no friendly aircraft could ever join is a channel no hostile receiver can read. So the adversary hears the drones. It does not hear the mind behind them. It cannot place the source of the orders, or even tell whether those drones are flying themselves or answering to a crude jet hidden somewhere in the dark. In this kind of fight, the edge does not go to whoever shoots first. It goes to whoever was never heard. And none of this stays with the Raptor. Every hour a pilot spends running 4 drones through a contested sky, every triangulation that falls apart, every jamming run that degrades an infrared baseline, is being written straight into the requirements for the F-47. When that jet reaches squadrons in the early 2030s, it will not start from zero. It will inherit 28 years of enforced silence, refined into doctrine. The F-22 is not being retired into a museum. It is being graduated. The question was never whether the F-22 is the finest air superiority fighter ever built. Flight tests settled that 2 decades ago, and the night of June 22, 2025 confirmed it again over Iran. The question now is harder. When one pilot sitting perfectly still at 50,000 feet can see every threat inside a 250-mile circle, send a swarm of autonomous aircraft into it, and neutralize those threats without ever lighting a radar or printing on a hostile screen, what is that pilot actually doing? The Scorpion helmet-mounted display, part of the same upgrade package, pushes the question further. The pilot no longer reaches for switches to slew sensors or hand off targets. He commands with his eyes. The helmet tracks his gaze. He looks at the drone he wants to move. He looks at the threat he wants neutralized first. The interface between human intent and machine action shrinks to the movement of an eye. At what point does the pilot stop being a fighter and start being a conductor? And at what point does the orchestra stop needing anyone on the podium at all? Every capability in this system and every limit on it runs back to a law that does not negotiate. The engineer in 1997 did not lose to that law. He read it correctly and built inside it. The engineers of 2026 are reading the same law and teaching a silent fighter how to run a conversation it is still not allowed to join. If the deadliest aircraft in the sky is the one you never hear coming, how do you fight an enemy that is already gone silent?